Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dino Brookhaven. I'm Dino, as always. What is going on? Going to do a live stream build of this Western set. I love Old West, and this is a Western set by FunWhole, and I'll talk about that in a second. Hello, Stephanie Press. What is going on? Edward Stewart. Tune the news. Connie Clary. Hello, everybody. Broken Bone Bricks came in earlier. Harry Scott, what's going on? Good to see everybody here. Let me make you, Andrea. Let me make you guys moderators here too. So on this channel, Tune, gonna make you a moderator also. Add as a moderator, standard moderator. This is going to be a really fun build, that's for sure. Stephanie. Listen, I'm going to make you guys moderators. Stephanie, thank you for being here. Yeah, FunWhole. This is an alternative to Lego, the same as Fantasy. They all make sets in a similar way. This one is very unique as it gives you the light set for it, and they hide it very well when you're putting it together. So this is my first one I'm putting together, so we shall see how it goes. I am going to play some Inner Sanctum as we go along here and do all of this. Hey, Black Roses, what is going on? Going to do some spooky... trying to make you a moderator. Can I do that? Yeah, here, add as a moderator. Let's get Black Rose as a moderator. There you go. Happy to have you guys here. Not sure what I'm doing on the Late Horror Show tonight. Not sure if I can get a stream. I've got to start dedicating some time to this city. Whereas, again, I'll talk about this in a second, the next city update is going to look way different because I changed it up. I made a city block on the far end because I got a water and a wharf area where people are going to fish off of on the one side. It looks different. It's going to be really cool when I do an update video, so it's going to be pretty cool. I'm not good at moderating stuff, sorry. You want me to take you off there, Stephanie? It's all right. Here, I'll remove you as a standard moderator. I don't want to make you feel like you have to do anything. Yes, FunWhole. They make lights with the set. This isn't the Old West. This is set F9021. It's 2,026 pieces. It is part of the Old West. They've got a sheriff's office too, but this is the Western Saloon. And this, I'm going to open it up and then start building. And as I start building, I'm going to play some Inner Sanctum, some spooky stuff. I could have played some Westerns, but to go with the set. But I'm going to play some Inner Sanctums anyways. Yes, please, thank you. Okay, no problem. I did. I took you off. Congratulations to the new mods for this channel. Thank you, Edward Stewart. So here I go. I am going to open this. I will let you guys see the best I can as I open this up and separate all the bricks and stuff like that. 2,026 pieces. There's some modular buildings in the Lego City that are slightly over, like 2,200. So it's a pretty good size. So I'm excited to build this. I really am. It probably won't go in the city because I'm not going to put an Old West saloon in the Lego City. But this will be a set off on its side that I can light up. And I'd like to make a little Western section there too. So let me get Fluff Chick Productions also as a moderator. Connie, thank you. But yeah, this is going to be very, very cool. And again, people are going to come here from my other channel and just go, what is this? I'm not interested in Legos. But I am going to play some old time radios as I build it. And this will probably be, who knows how long I'll go. But here we go. I'm opening it up for the first time. There is a box, brick light kit. So this is the brick light kit. Let me open this up. And I will get to Inner Sanctum in a moment. Let me just get this open here without cutting myself. Can I? Can I do that without cutting myself? Let's see. I just hope that the lighting kit isn't as hard. It should be easy enough to do. Okay, I opened it up. Okay, so comes with a light kit. Let's see, bag 1, bag 2. So a couple light sets there. Looks like a battery pack. And some tweezers for stickers, probably. I wonder if there's any stickers in this. I guess we shall see. I hope not. I hate stickers. But if they do stickers, hopefully it'll be the right kind of stickers. Let me bring up the chat here so I can chat with you guys over here as I look at the instructions. FunWhole, what I like. Fantasy, I got to go through a whole bunch of trouble to get their instructions to work on the sets. Lego, they allow me to, you can go to the site and download the instructions via PDF. Same with FunWhole. Fantasy, I got to jump through all kinds of hoops. Although I love Fantasy, I like their sets too. But here we go. My gosh, is this a big booklet. I wonder how long, this will probably take me 3-4 days to finish, so there'll be some streams. Everything looks really cool in here. Oh, I like this. It's like a little story inspiration. Tell you how to put the light kits in there, but I'm going to be doing this off of the computer. I will put this up in front. There's a lot of bags which I got to separate too. Looks like this is the sticker kit. Oh my god. Okay, this was the only thing I was worried about. There are a lot of stickers here. Oh man. I hate stickers. But as long as they come off and go on right, then it's fine. Come on out. So stickers right there. So I will put this off to the side. Let's see, Dino, I was shocked on how much the Titanic, 90 pieces, wow, from 300 to 1200 model number. Yes, yes. I hope to one day get the Titanic and the Colosseum. Those are the two that I really want to do. I'd love to just place the Colosseum, which I think the Colosseum is like 10,000. Some similar to the Titanic in size, Edward. But very, very big. So yeah, here we go. I like that there's a lot of numbered bags. So hopefully, yes, 12. So it looks like that'll make it a lot easier for me. Here's bag 1 already. So just like, you know, just like Lego pieces and everything else. But hopefully you saw that picture of the front box. This is how it's supposed to, or is going to look. Let me bring up this here. That is the way it's supposed to look when done. And there's an opening in the back that opens up like a door, like just a big door, so you can see the inside of the saloon, which is lit up and really, really cool. The figures, they're a little bit different. I think they'll grow on me. They're kind of cute. I mean, I guess that's the best way to say it. Anyways, bag 1. Let me separate these bags. 12. Okay, you know what? While I'm separating these bags, I will play an Inner Sanctum, because this might take me a few minutes to do. I'm not sure. I want to get these all in order. But let's see. I can't do stickers at all, especially model transfer. Well, that's why they give tweezers. So I will see if these tweezers help at all. They actually give you tweezers for the stickers, to use the stickers, so that it'll help place them on the tiles. And I hope that works. It should work. I've never done it before, but we will find out. Thank you so much, Dino. No problem, Tune. But yeah, let me play Inner Sanctum as I unbox all these, and after each episode I will talk a little bit more. I will probably start building this. I'm sure the plate's down in there at the bottom somewhere. I shall find it. Where are the plates? Oh, here we go. So plates in one bag. They do the plates a little bit different. They're smaller plates, which I'm going to put together. But that's cool. As long as they, and this is very, listen, I've done my research on this, and these are at a fraction of the cost of other sets, like Fantasy, FunWhole, these alternate sets. Like this would be, oh, how much did I get this for? I think I got this for like $90, and this would be like maybe a $200 set for Lego, or maybe more. I don't know. Listen, there's 2,000 pieces, but yeah, no, definitely cool. So let me open this up. This is going to be all of the bases. So we've got some dark brown and some tan base plates that are going to make the foundation, I'm sure. Dino, I posted on all my medias and your Discord. Yeah, I put it over on my other, like on the community tab too. I don't know how many people will see it and come over here and subscribe. I've been trying to tell people, you know, on nights that I don't stream over on the Late Late Horror Show, I'll be over here doing this. And even nights that I do, I will be over here doing this, because I'll be working. These are like some straw things. What are these? Like little straws? I could probably drink out of those. I will put those over to the side also. So let me play an Inner Sanctum. If we got, hey, Harry Scott, what is going on? Good to see you. Just trying to separate all the bags. These are bags 12. Here's a bag 1. I can't wait to do this. I love the Old West. I love the Old West. I love the Western stuff. So this is, I can't wait to see what the saloon all lit up looks like. It's going to be pretty cool. This is 10. Let's see if I can keep all this in order. This is 6. Yeah, this is bag 6. I know this is kind of boring, me going through all the bags here, but let me get rid of this, and let me see. Do we still got 7 people watching? That's good. That's good. I will be doing this for a while. Let me separate all these and play an Inner Sanctum while I am while you guys are sitting there in the chat. You can watch me unbag all these and get them all in order. So here we go. I am going to play some Inner Sanctum while I build this. I have some pulled out. Let's start with Makes Ready My Grave. Makes Ready My Grave. Some spooky stuff while we do this. So here we go.
Lipton Tea and Lipton Soups present Inner Sanctum Mysteries.
Man, that needs some oil too.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host opening the squeaking door for another session of the AGGMS, the Association of Ghouls, Ghosts, and Midnight Spirits. Oh, may I see your membership card as you enter, please? What, oh, no, it's not a printed card. All you have to do is show me your wrist. If there's any blood pulsing in your arteries, then you don't belong here tonight. Better come back and try some other time, after you've passed your mortuary test.
Well, Mr. Host, I'm afraid I don't qualify as a member of your AGGMS, Association of Ghouls, or whatever it is. But I am a charter member of the ILLB Society.
The ILLB? What's that, Mary? It's a new one on me.
Why, those initials stand for I Like Lipton's Best. To join this club, all you have to do is see that the tea in your teapot is always Lipton's. The club password isn't a word at all. It's that familiar sound of appreciation, mm-mm. For really, Lipton tea is delicious, as zestful and spirited as can be. And the reason? Very simple. It's Lipton's brisk flavor. Brisk, you know, is the tea expert's own word for the lively, full-bodied flavor of Lipton tea. That brisk flavor has made a lot of friends, for more folks buy and enjoy Lipton's than any other tea in the world. So try a cup of Lipton tea yourself. I know you'll say, as so many others do, I like Lipton's best.
And now for tonight's Inner Sanctum Mystery. It's an original radio play by Emil Tepperman called Make Ready My Grave, and stars two radio favorites, John Banks and Richard Widmark. It's about a boy and a girl who've just been married. A piece of colored string, an open grave, and a hangman's noose. That train is the Southeast Limited. See it? Long, sleek, and powerful. Clicking off the miles and the humming rails. A masterpiece of 20th century mechanical perfection. Nothing about it to suggest lurking hate, or fear, or superstition, or death. But let's take a look into compartment A, car 17. John and Betty Loomis, just married, are going for their honeymoon to John's ancestral estate.
John, I'm so happy. How soon do we get to Louisville?
In about an hour, Betty.
Just think, I married into one of the oldest families in the state.
I hope you'll be very happy, darling.
Oh, I will. You do love me, don't you, John?
Of course I do, baby. I'll always love you. Always. No matter what happens.
What do you mean, no matter what happens? What could happen? John, something's bothering you.
No, it's nothing at all.
You're hiding something. There's something you haven't told me.
It's nothing, Betty. It's nothing to worry about.
You don't want to tell me?
No, not now. Maybe later.
Why are you playing with that piece of yellow string?
What?
You've been playing with it ever since we came onto the train.
Gosh, I never noticed.
I watched you. You've been tying a knot in it.
A knot? Good Lord. I must have tied it without knowing what I was doing.
You've tied it into a noose. A hangman's noose.
I don't know how I came to make it or where I picked it up.
Well, it's only a piece of string.
Yes, it's only a piece of string. Betty.
What is it, John?
Here, take this.
A gun?
Take it.
But why?
If I should ever try to strangle
Loving
you,
it.
please listen to me. If I should ever try to strangle you, promise me to use that gun on me.
What are you talking about?
Louisville, next stop.
No,
Next stop, Louisville.
This is where we get...
John, what's this all about? That piece of yellow string and now this gun?
Put it away, Betty, and remember what I said. Don't ever forget it.
Why is it so dark here?
This is just a way station. The train only stopped here to let us off. Otherwise, it goes right through.
Oh? I thought Louisville was a big town.
Well, it used to be 100 years ago, but now there's only the Loomis estate.
Are we far from the estate?
About 2 miles. Old Herman Galt should be here to pick us up in the station wagon.
Herman Galt?
Mm-hmm. He's the handyman. There's been a Galt working for the Loomis family for the last 150 years.
John, I don't like it here. Dark, and that wind.
What the devil can Galt be? I wrote them what train we were taking.
I'm ready,
What?
Mr. John.
Oh, Galt, you frightened my wife.
I'm sorry, ma'am, if I scared you.
Oh, that's all right. It was just the way you spoke so suddenly out of the darkness.
If you'll follow me, I've got the station wagon back here.
John, he doesn't like me.
Galt? No, that's just his way. He's very devoted to the family. Wait till you get to know him.
I don't think I care to.
Tell you what, I'm going to do... These are all the figures here in front of me with the cowboy hats and everything. I think I'm going to do these last after the set or off camera. You got to put the arms together, the legs, the hat, everything. But they do look pretty cool. But I am going to save these and then just start putting the building together, the actual saloon. So I'm going to do that and wait till the end for these figures. They're easy enough to put together anyway, so I will wait. Back to Inner Sanctum. Make ready my grave.
Johnny, he's driving too fast. It's so dark.
Don't worry, Betty. Galt knows this road like the back of his hand. We'll be there in a few minutes.
I'm frightened. Darling, please, tell me why you gave me the gun.
No, I can't tell you now, Betty. Maybe after you meet Uncle Everard.
John.
What?
What's that in your hand?
What? Oh.
Another piece of string. A red one this time.
What? I must have picked it up in here, off the seat.
You've knotted it into another hangman's noose.
Galt.
Yes, Mr. John.
This piece of red string, did you put it here?
No, sir.
Then how did it get here?
You ought to know.
Yes. Yes, I ought to know.
Galt, why are you stopping here?
We're home, ma'am. This is the entrance to the Loomis estate. I've got to get out and open the gate. I'll be right back.
Betty, I've got to get out, too. I've got to see for myself.
See what,
You
John?
stay here, Betty.
But,
Stay right where you are.
Wait a minute, I'm coming
Go back,
too.
Betty. Get back in the car.
Mr. John is right, ma'am. You shouldn't go with him.
Take care of her, Galt. I won't be long.
Galt, where's he going?
That is the Loomis family cemetery.
Cemetery? What does he want to see in there in the middle of the night?
He'll tell you himself, ma'am. In due time.
No, I'm going to find out right now.
Better not, ma'am. Better come
John!
back.
John, wait for me.
Betty, I told you to stay
I'm
in the
going
car.
with you. I want to know what there is in that cemetery.
back in that car.
I'm your wife now. I have a right to know what this is all about. I'm going with you.
All right, if that's the way you feel about it. But hold on to that gun I gave you. Keep it in your hand all the time.
John, why?
You'll
Why?
find out soon enough. This is the gate of the family cemetery. All the Loomises and their wives are buried here.
It's so shadowy. White tombstones look like ghosts. Hold my hand, John.
No. Just hold on to that gun.
John, whose grave is this with the high tombstone?
My great-grandfather's, Stuart Loomis. He founded the Loomis estate. This is my grandfather's grave. His wife. Here's my father. My mother.
And that's all.
That should be all.
What do you mean?
Come over here. This is what I came to see. This is what I've been afraid of.
John, it's an open grave. Freshly dug.
Yes, Betty. It was just dug tonight. But
who is it for?
Betty, darling. I'm afraid it's for you.
Well, what's poor Betty letting herself in for? With a fresh grave waiting for her on a honeymoon. And a husband who ties little strings into hangman's nooses. But, come to think of it, Betty's a lucky girl at that. How many girls who get married nowadays can count on finding a nice, snug place all ready for them to lie down in and rest? In peace.
Gracious, Mr. Host, Betty doesn't seem like a lucky bride to me. Why, most brides have things much easier. Because there's so many things today to help them make their marriage a success.
For example?
For example, Lipton tea. With Lipton tea on the pantry shelf, a young bride today has a much better chance of making her home a happy one. Just the other day, I was talking to a friend who just got married. As we sat there in her kitchen sipping our Lipton tea, me occupying the only chair and she perched on the kitchen stool, she said, "You know, Mary, it was silly of me to worry about being able to cook the things Jack liked. It's not nearly as difficult as I imagined. Take this Lipton tea here. It answers the whole beverage problem as far as Jack is concerned. He's happy as long as he has Liptons morning, noon, and night." Well, I told her I could understand that, because most husbands I know about are partial to Lipton tea. And it's because of the extra satisfaction that's in Lipton's wonderful brisk flavor. Satisfaction, did I say? You just try Lipton tea and see if that isn't an understatement. Try Lipton's tomorrow.
Now, let's hurry back to our date in a graveyard. Remember? With poor Betty, whose husband has just told her he's afraid the freshly dug grave is for her.
John, what do you mean? Who dug this grave for me? Who?
If I told you, you'd think I was crazy.
No,
See,
you've got to
everybody.
tell me. If I'm in danger, I have a right to
Thumbs
know.
up.
Was it God? Your Uncle Everard?
No. Well, at least I don't think so.
His wife, Christine.
Betty, do you believe that a ghost could dig a grave?
Ghost? Do you mean I'm in danger from a ghost?
Oh, I told you you'd think I was crazy.
John, why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. Betty, have you got that gun with you?
No, I left it in the car. What good would a gun be against a ghost?
There's the station wagon still waiting at the gate, but I don't see Galt.
Maybe he went up to the house.
Galt, where are you?
Hello there, John. What's up?
Uncle Everard. What happened to Galt?
He came up to the house. Said you'd gone into the cemetery. So I thought I'd better come down.
Oh.
Is it there?
Yes, it's there. A freshly dug grave. Uncle Everard, this is my wife, Betty.
Who are you, Betty?
Hello.
You saw the grave too, Betty?
Yes, and John says he thinks it's for me. I'm afraid I don't understand all
You
this.
haven't told her anything yet, John?
Well, just a little. I couldn't bring myself to.
I think it's time you did. More tea, Betty?
Thank you, Uncle Everard. I will have a little more.
You, John?
No, thanks.
Too bad Christina's ill. She's upstairs in our room. But I hope she'll be better by tomorrow. You can see her then.
Maybe.
What do you mean?
That grave out there. Maybe it'll be filled tomorrow.
John, don't you think it's time you kept your promise to tell me what this is all about?
You tell her, Uncle Everard.
Well, Betty, there's a ghost in the Loomis family. That's it in a nutshell.
Oh, I see. And it was a ghost who dug that grave. Huh?
I know it sounds mad. But after 150 years, we Loomises have come to the conviction that it can't be anything but a ghost.
150 years? You mean...
John's great-grandfather, Stuart Loomis, settled this strip of seacoast under a patent from the colonial governor. There's his picture over the fireplace.
He doesn't look much like you, John.
Stuart Loomis was a hard man. There was a French privateer in these waters who made a lot of trouble in those days. Gaston Leroux, who sailed the seas with his wife, Antoinette.
But what has a French pirate and his wife to do with that grave?
Stuart Loomis captured Leroux and his wife, and under the authority conferred upon him by the governor, had the power to hang them.
You mean the woman, too?
Yes. He hanged them both on a gibbet where our family cemetery now stands.
Oh, how terrible.
Before he died, Gaston Leroux laid a curse on the Loomis family. He swore that just as his wife was hanged, so would all the Loomis women die. He swore that he would come back and dig a grave for the wife of a Loomis in every generation, and furnish the noose by which a Loomis would strangle his own wife.
But that's incredible.
A short while afterward, a fresh grave was found beside the gibbet where Leroux had been hung. That night, Stuart Loomis's wife, John's great-grandmother, was found hanging by the neck from the eaves of this very house.
And Stuart Loomis?
I told you Stuart Loomis was a hard man and had made many enemies. There were many who hated him deeply and bitterly. He was arrested and tried for the murder of his wife. Convicted and executed.
Now you know the secret of the Loomis family.
But, John, that still doesn't prove there's a ghost.
No, that one incident doesn't prove it. But it happened again when the next Loomis married. John's grandfather. And to the next Loomis, John's father. Sometimes a year after he married, sometimes 5 years. But the curse never fails.
It's happened in every generation?
Yes. And now, John Loomis has brought a new wife home. There's a freshly dug grave waiting in the family cemetery.
Then I'm next.
I don't know, Betty. Maybe that grave isn't for you.
What?
Maybe it's for Christine. My wife.
This is all ridiculous. A ghost couldn't dig a grave, make John strangle
Man, this
me
is
to
a
death.
pretty
Uncle
big
Everard,
base.
You can't believe such a legend. It can't be true.
Maybe not, my dear. But the graves of the strangled Loomis women are out there to prove it. Well, this is your room, Betty. I'll have God call you at 8 tomorrow morning. Good night.
Good night, Uncle Everard.
Good night, John.
Good night, Uncle Everard.
This is such a big one.
Is it just me, or does this episode of Inner Sanctum sound a bit like Dark Shadows? It has that airy gothic feel to it. It kind of sounds like that. Make Ready My Grave. A little Dark Shadows. I mean, listen, Dark Shadows came later, but you know. And look at this plate, man. This is going to be a big section. I know the front of it, and then this main saloon area is going to be here. But yeah, big surface area here I got. But Dark Shadows, man, sounds like it. Am I wrong, people?
It's so gloomy.
The whole house is like that. It lies gloomy and sullen under the Loomis curse. Oh, Betty, I love you so much. We'll beat the curse together.
Let me go, darling. I want to change my clothes and wash.
All right. There's the bathroom over there.
I'll only be a minute.
All right, darling.
Oh, it's a lovely bath.
Betty, what is
John,
it?
quick.
What?
Look. Hanging from the shower bar.
What? A hangman's noose.
It's a real one this time. Of rope.
Ready to hang someone.
Who put it there?
It's the Loomis curse. We can't get away from it.
No ghost could have hung that rope there.
Let's call Uncle Everett.
All right.
Have you got the gun with you?
No, it's in my handbag.
Well, get it.
But, John...
Get it, I say.
All right, John. Here. Here, I've got it.
All right, now keep it with you all the time. And don't be afraid to use it. On me, if necessary.
All right, let's get your uncle.
This is his room. I wonder if I ought to wake him. It might upset Aunt Christine. She's sick.
We've got to wake him. Better knock harder.
Well, it wasn't locked.
Call him.
Uncle Everard. Uncle Everard? He doesn't answer. There's a light in the room.
Push the door further open.
All right. Well, there's nobody in the room. The bed's empty. Uncle Everard? Aunt Christine?
Maybe in the bathroom. The door is open.
Betty!
John,
What? Aunt Christine.
She's hanging by the neck.
She's dead.
It's the same kind of a noose as in our bathroom.
Uncle Everard hanged her. It's the Loomis curse catching up with us. Well, Galt, any trace of Uncle Everard?
I searched the whole house, basement to attic, not a sign of him.
He must have gone out. Come along.
But it's raining.
We've got to find him, Betty. Come on.
So dark out here. How will we ever find him?
I have a flashlight, ma'am. You look.
What?
Fresh footprints in the slush.
Oh, they must be Uncle Everard's. They lead down toward the cemetery. Come along, Galt.
Here, Mr. John, you can see for yourself. The footprints lead right to this new grave.
But why did he come here?
There's the answer, Betty. A cross at the head of the empty grave. Throw your flashlight on it, Galt. There's something written on it.
It says, Christine Loomis.
Betty, what is it?
Look. Over there.
Another grave. He's dug another one.
There's a cross on this one, too.
Does it say anything?
Yes. Yes, it does. It says, Betty Loomis.
John, sit close to me. That portrait of Stuart Loomis over the fireplace looks so real. It frightens me.
Now, remember, Betty, whatever happens, hold on to that gun, and don't be afraid to use it tonight.
Where is Galt?
He ought to be here soon. He went to look for some weapons.
Here I am, Mr. John.
Galt, you always frighten me coming in so quietly.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Here, Mr. John. These ought to be pretty good weapons.
Size?
Yes, I had them sharpened only the other day. They could slice a man's head off in one stroke. Take one, Mr. John.
Thanks. But I'd hate to use it on Uncle Everard.
If he shows up tonight, you'd better use it.
Maybe he's come back into the house through the back way.
I'll go through the house again if you'd like. This time I'll start with the attic.
Be careful, Galt.
I will, Mr. John.
John, I don't like him.
Galt?
And I don't think he likes me either.
Good to see everybody. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you,
Darling,
thank you.
what's that?
Enjoy Inner
Galt
Sanctum.
in the attic. You must have met Uncle Everard hiding up there. Stay right here, Betty, and hold on to that gun.
John, be careful.
Don't worry. Just take care of
John,
yourself.
come back. I'm frightened. I'm afraid to be alone. There's nothing to be afraid of. I have this gun. And if anybody comes... The lights. Lights went out. Who's there? Who's in this room? Don't come any closer. I have a gun and I'll shoot. I can't see you, but I'll shoot at the sound. John! Rope. Around my neck. Let go. I'll shoot.
It's not loaded. I took the bullets out when you left it in the car.
Galt.
Yes, ma'am, it's Galt. Mr. John is busy up there in the attic with the body of Mr. Everard. I killed him, too. And when Mr. John comes downstairs, he'll find you. And I'll cut him down in the dark with my scythe.
Why?
There were others besides the pirate LaRue who hated Stuart Loomis. Like my own great-grandfather, he was in the service of Stuart Loomis, and he hated him. When LaRue laid the curse on the Loomises, my great-grandfather decided to make it come true. It was he who strangled the wife of Stuart Loomis. Through the years, the Gaults from father to son have handed down their hate.
You're mad.
Maybe. I'll tighten the noose and finish
Betty,
you.
where are you? Why is it dark in here?
John!
Betty!
John, look out, it's all he has his eye.
And so will I.
John! John!
Oh.
is it?
Oh, darling. Darling, where are you?
Here, John, here. Oh, darling.
Baby, we finished forever with the Loomis curse.
Well, that was a pretty rough honeymoon for Betty. But you know, there's a lesson in her story for forgetful wives. Yes, if you keep tying little colored strings to your fingers to remind you of things and you still can't remember them, why not try a rope neatly tied around your neck? It's sure to help you forget.
Oh, dear, Mr. Host, there you go telling our listeners how to forget things when I've got something for them to remember.
Oh, I didn't realize that, Mary. What is it you want them to remember?
It's Lipton tea, folks. And you don't need any string tied on your finger or any such reminder. To make sure you get it when you visit your grocer's tomorrow, just remember that Lipton's is the tea with the wonderful brisk flavor. The fine quality tea that gives you all the goodness nature meant tea to have. I wish you'd try a cup of Lipton's soon, because it's so delicious. Just ask your grocer for Lipton's. Remember, Lipton's is the tea with brisk flavor.
And so our evening's over, with the usual quota of corpses to qualify for the ghoul school. We're working on a special matriculation for bachelor ghouls. In case you didn't know, a bachelor ghoul is one who believes that two can die as cheaply as one. Oh, by the way, this month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is I Hate Blondes by Wolf Kaufman. And next week, the makers of Lipton Tea and Lipton Soups will bring you another Inner Sanctum story directed by Hyman Brown and called Dead Man's Turn. It's a little night course in murder, that's all. As you have your choice of majoring in choking, shooting, drowning. But why don't you just listen in to Inner Sanctum next week and you'll get all the inside told. Oh, yes, next week part of the country goes on daylight saving time. If your area remains on standard time, tune in to Inner Sanctum 1 hour earlier. Until then, good night. Pleasant dreams.
Want a delicious dinner treat in a hurry? Then Lipton's noodle soup mix is the thing for you. In just a few quick minutes, you have a grand-tasting chickeny soup ready to serve. Lipton's noodle soup is full of tender, golden noodles and seasoned to perfection. And it's economical, too. Costs less and makes lots more than ordinary canned soups. Just ask your grocer for Lipton's noodle soup mix. Your family will love it. And don't forget to tune in next week for another Inner Sanctum mystery.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Make ready my grave. There we go. Inner Sanctum. Yeah, that was a good episode. I really, really enjoyed that. Edward Stewart. I can't wait for the Lego Jaws set to come out. Some people have got it early. It doesn't come out till August. And the ship looks fantastic. Even the faces on the Legos look like the actors from the movie. It looks really, really good. I am definitely getting that as a horror fan when that comes out. August 1st, I do believe. In FunWhole here, which I'm doing now, they're making their first modular building, which could go in the city. It's Susie's Antique Shop. That comes out in 3 days, and I cannot wait for it. I can't wait because that's going to be cool, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. Anyways, I've got pretty far on here. Let me see the chat. Jaws Lego, yay, can't wait. Yeah, Lulubelle. The Jaws set looks really, really cool. This, I can't wait till this is put together. Thanks for the recommendation, Bubba. Great was Vincent Price, The Treasury of... Yes, Vincent Price has a cookbook out, right? Yeah. So far, this is the big, this is going to be the rooms. This is going to be the front of the saloon door. There's going to be a bar in there and all that. And just putting pieces. I love the way it's going together so far. All the pieces fit great. The plates this way are just really, really tight and flat. I love it. Everything about this I love. So far. We shall see. The only thing is when I get to the stickers and I get to actually putting the lights in the parts that I need to put them in. Because I've never done that before. I've never put a light kit in any of the Lego sets or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Let me continue building as I play another Inner Sanctum mystery show from 1946, Detour to Terror. Detour to Terror. Enjoy this episode as I continue the build. I'm almost done with bags 1 and can move on to bags 2. Hopefully this is a quick build. Here we go. Detour to Terror.
Lipton Tea and Lipton Soups present Inner Sanctum Mysteries. Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host, waiting to act as your guide through the squeaking door on a specially prepared travelogue. First, we'll take a little jaunt with jeopardy along the path of peril, where we'll prowl with panic until we take the left turn into Horror Highway, and thence via Terror Turnpike straight into the road to ruin.
I don't think I like your itinerary, Mr. Host. If you don't mind, I'd much rather take a shortcut to the Highway of Happiness via the kitchen.
And pray tell us, by what signpost shall we recognize your blithesome Highway of Happiness, Mary?
Well, you'll just know you're headed for pleasure when you take your first taste of swell Lipton tea. Because, what a world of contentment there is in every cupful. What flavor, what wide-awake flavor. No wonder the tea experts say there's only one word to describe Lipton's, and that's brisk. No wonder more folks enjoy Lipton's than any other brand of tea in the world. It's because Lipton tea never tastes dull, flat, or dreary. It's always lively and cheery. Yes, Lipton's is the world's favorite tea, and it will be your favorite, too, once you taste that brisk Lipton flavor. So be sure you try Lipton tea.
Listen now to the strange tale of a boy and his twin sister, and their dog, and the wreckers of Hurricane Cove. It's called Detour to Terror. An original radio play written especially for Inner Sanctum by Emil Tepperman. And here is Mason Adams as Jerry Watson to tell you the story himself.
I had a strange, uneasy feeling all evening after Linda left to drive to Hurricane Cove. Somehow I had a presentiment of danger. Linda and I were twins, and always, in some uncanny way, each of us had been able to sense when the other was in trouble. Tonight, the feeling was very strong. Butch sensed it, too. He was only a mongrel pup, but he was smart. I shouldn't have let Linda go alone, but she had insisted. She was a feature writer for the Manhattan Magazine, and she'd run across the trail of a story about an old family of wreckers who lived down by the shore near Hurricane Cove. The tale went that this family had made a living in the old days by placing false signals on the shore in order to lure ships onto the rocks and then loot them. It was this story that she'd gone to investigate. Unwilling to go to bed with that uneasy feeling lying heavy upon me, I dozed in the chair by the fire with Butch's whine in my ears. It must have been a dream, because I saw Linda's white face floating in a sort of haze. And then I saw the fear in her eyes as she called to me.
Jerry! Jerry, help me! Help me!
I came awake suddenly with a cold sweat on my face. Butch was on his haunches by the fireplace, nose in the air and howling as if for the dead. I felt myself trembling. Linda in danger. Somewhere out in that storm, Linda was calling to me for help. She needed me terribly. Come on, Butch, we're going after her. Within 20 minutes, I was speeding through the storm out along Highway 9. I remembered Linda's telling me just what route she'd take.
See, Jerry, I'll go out on 9 to here, and then turn off on the old shore road. It isn't used much anymore, but it's the shortest route to Hurricane Cove. And if I leave now, I should be there by midnight.
The mist lay heavy on the old shore road, and the rain drove against the windshield, and the swirling fog played strange tricks with my eyes. But I knew I was almost an hour behind Linda, and I had to make time. Now, don't worry, Butch. We'll catch up to her. We'll find her. If I could only go faster. It's fog. I can't see 20 feet ahead of... Hey! It's a red lantern on the road. What? It's a detour sign. Bridge ahead, washed out. Detour. What'll I do, Butch? How do I know what Linda did? Did she drive straight ahead or did she take the detour? I've got to know. I can't sit here waiting. We'll take the detour, Butch, and pray it's the right choice. This detour isn't taking us anywhere, Butch. I don't think Linda came this way. Maybe she didn't see the detour sign back there. Drove into the washed-out bridge.
Trying to
Maybe that's
backtrack
what the
here.
danger was.
Find something.
No, she couldn't have missed that red lantern even in the fog. She must have turned off. She must have come this way. Hey! There's the car, Butch, stalled in the ditch and blocking the road. It's Linda's car. Come on, let's get to her quick. Gosh, it's coming down and bucking. Never mind the lightning. Let's go. She's not in the car, Butch. I don't see her in the car. Oh, no, she's not in here. Linda! Linda! Where could she have gone, Butch? She was always scared of thunder and lightning. Linda! How can we look for her in the dark and the fog? What is it, Butch? What have you found over there? I'm coming, Butch. I'm coming. Where, Butch? Where, behind the tree? All right. Linda. She's not... Linda. Open your eyes. It's Jerry, Linda. Oh, Linda, don't be scared, Linda. Everything's all right. It's me. It's Jerry. Oh, Linda.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, thank heaven. Oh, Jerry, take me away from here.
Sure, kid. Come on. Here, I'll help you out. Come on. My car's over this way.
I must have fainted. I knew you'd come, Jerry. I had a feeling you would. I was afraid it might be too late.
Here, get in the car.
Yeah.
Come on in, Butch. Gosh, you're soaked to the skin, kid. What happened here?
Well, there was a man. He was hiding up there behind a tree. The headlights caught him when I got stalled in the ditch.
How'd you come to land in the ditch?
Well, there's a tree lying across the road. See, look over there. You can just see it in the headlights.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Gosh, it's a big one.
It was a little
Must have been
mistake.
struck by the lightning.
That's
You
what I
make them
thought
every
at
now
first.
and then.
But when I got out to look at it, I saw that it wasn't struck by lightning.
What?
Jerry, that tree has been deliberately cut.
Linda, are you sure?
Sure I am. It's been cut by a saw. The minute I looked at it, I realized it wasn't any accident. Somebody meant to block this road.
Great Scott.
So I hurried back into the car, and I tried to turn around. I wanted to go back.
You couldn't have turned around anyway. This road is too narrow.
Yeah, well, I was too scared to realize that. I started backing up, and the rear wheels landed in the ditch. And it was just then that I saw the man. He was coming out from behind the tree, and he was all hunched up so I couldn't see his face. Then when the headlights struck him, he ducked back, and he disappeared. Well, I was afraid to stay in the car, so I jumped out, and I started to run. Then I could hear him coming after me. And I must have tripped, and my head struck something. That's all I knew till you found me.
Are you sure it was a man you saw, kid?
Yeah, positive, Jerry.
I don't get it. What was the idea of blocking the road? What's the matter, Bush?
He hears something. Look over there.
Someone running through the woods carrying something. I'm going after him.
Careful, Jerry. Look, Butch has that man by the trousers. Oh, he kicked Butch.
Hey, you don't you kick my dog!
Jerry, be careful.
Come on back here, you!
Jerry, I'm coming with you.
Oh, it's no use. He ran away in the night. Are you all right, Bush?
Look, Jerry. Whoever he was, he dropped what he was carrying.
What is it?
It looks like a big board of some kind.
Here, I'll turn the flashlight on. What's the sign? Has lettering on it.
What's it say?
Well, it says... Great Scott.
What is it, Jerry?
It says, bridge ahead, washed out. Detour.
Jerry, this is the detour sign from the highway.
Yeah. They only put it up there to lure you onto this back road. Then they blocked the road with a tree. Kid, it looks like we're in some kind of a trap.
All that work for a floor.
Now, what kind of a mess have we got these poor people into? Imagine finding that poor twin sister unconscious behind the tree. And it took Butch to find her, too. I wonder what kind of a tree it was. Oh, probably a dogwood tree. As you can always tell a dogwood tree by its bark.
There's poor Linda in all that trouble, and here you go, making puns.
I can't help it, Mary. That's my nature.
I ought to know it's your nature by now. And I ought to know, too, you can't change people. Take those of us who like to start each day off with piping hot Lipton tea. Why, nothing in the world could change us. In fact, breakfast just wouldn't be breakfast without Lipton. Lipton tea just seems to go with a bright bowl of gay yellow jonquils, a sunny checked gingham tablecloth, and, of course, the morning paper. Part of the reason is Lipton's deep amber color and tempting aroma. But the big reason breakfast wouldn't be right without Lipton's is Lipton's grand, brisk flavor. It's so lively and tingling with zip. Just a cup or two of Lipton's and your spirits catch on and your day's off to a bright start. Yes, breakfast time or any time is the right time to enjoy Lipton tea. So for real tea-drinking pleasure, ask your grocer tomorrow for brisk Lipton tea.
Let's get back to our story now and see what happens along that deadly detour. I have a hunch that Jerry and Linda are in for a lot of trouble. Trouble in twins, you know, never come singly.
We got back in my car, wet and shivering, Linda, Butch, and I. We tried to figure out what to do.
Don't you see, Jerry? This is the way those old-time wreckers used to work. They'd place false signals on the shore so that the ships would be lured onto the rocks.
Mm-hmm. You think that phony detour sign back there...
It was just like a false signal to a seaman. It lured us onto this back road. When they get good and ready, they'll come for us.
Maybe you're right, kid.
Well, Jerry, we can't just sit here and wait to be murdered.
Look, Linda, up there in the hill through the trees. See those lights? Looks like a big house.
Hey, maybe they've got a phone. We could call the police.
Uh-huh. And
Sounds
maybe...
a little bit like
Maybe
Jimmy
what,
Stewart.
Nothing.
You think maybe they're the ones who lured us here?
We'll have to take the chance, Linda.
ground here is so soft. Isn't there a path through these woods?
There is. We could never find it now. Anyway, this is the quickest. There are the lights of the house, up ahead through the trees.
Such big trees, so old and bare. They look like evil things. Like they're waiting to twine their arms around us and crush us.
Quit it, kid. You'll work yourself up for nothing. We'll be at the house in a minute.
What? What is it?
The lights, they went out.
The house, it's all dark.
Quiet, Butch,
Why did
quiet.
they put the lights out, Jerry?
Maybe they went to sleep.
What do we do?
We'll go up and ring the bell. That's what we'll do.
Jerry.
What?
Do you hear that?
Yeah, someone playing the piano in there. In the dark.
Oh, it sounds uncanny.
Come on, I'm going to ring the bell.
The episode where there's a guy in the background pretending he's your dog. Some people that can nag on them. But it's starting to look good, you guys. It's coming together. I made 2 mistakes so far and had to go backtrack. So I better slow down and be a little more careful. Here we go.
Piano stopped.
Yeah. I think I hear someone coming.
Still no lights. It gives me the creeps.
Someone's opening the door.
Good evening. Caught in the storm, eh? Won't you come in?
Your lights, aren't they working?
How stupid of me. I'd forgotten. There. That better?
Yeah, yes, thank you. I'm Jerry Watson. This is my sister, Linda. This is Butch.
How do you do? My name is Considine. Gregory Considine. And you're quite welcome, I assure you.
Mr. Considine, there's been a tree cut across the road down there.
Tree? Cut? You mean struck by lightning?
Well, I don't think so, sir. I think it was done deliberately. I'd like to use your phone to call the police.
I'm so sorry. The phone is out of order. The storm, you know. I'm sure you must be mistaken about the tree. You must be soaked through and through. Please follow me into the library. I'll get you some dry clothes.
Jerry, did you see his eyes? He's blind.
That's why I was playing the piano in the dark.
Right in here, please. It's a nice crackling fire. You can warm up while I ring for my handyman. Matt will be here in a moment. I heard what you said to your brother, Miss Watson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not at all. I managed quite well.
You live alone here, Mr. Considine?
Just my brother Vincent and I, and Matt, of course. We seldom see strangers here. No one uses this old back road.
Just me and my brother, the doctor. The Burbs. Unless, yeah, I should have made you guys guess. No, the only people, we are a small family. Just me, the young boy, and my brother, the doctor.
Mr. Considine, someone put a phony detour sign out on the main road.
Really? Sounds almost incredible. Ah, here's Matt.
You ring for me, Mr. Gregg?
Matt, this is Miss Watson and her brother, and Butch. They've been caught in the storm. I think there's some dry clothing in the west room.
Yes, Mr. Gregg. Yeah, this way, please.
Are you in there, Greg? What have you done to those people?
Oh, dear. That's my brother Vincent. I'm afraid I'll have to ask a favor of you. Please overlook anything Vincent may say. He's, shall I say, a bit strange.
Oh, here you are. Well, introduce me to your friends, Greg.
Go upstairs, Vincent.
Go upstairs, Vincent. Is that all you have to say to your brother? What are you going to do to these people? What are you planning for them?
Vincent.
You can't shut me up. Look here, mister. And young lady. Take a bit of advice from me. Don't stay in this house overnight, or you'll never live to see the morning. Get out, quick.
Matt, you know what to do.
No.
Yes, Mr. Gregg.
No, please, keep away from me, Matt. Keep away. I warn you, mister, get your sister out of it. No, let go of me, Matt.
Hey, he knocked him
out.
I regret that it was necessary, Mr. Watson. Vincent is difficult at times. Please pay no attention to what he said. I'm very sorry that you had to witness this painful scene. Matt, please carry Mr. Vincent upstairs and lock him in his room. I hope you like these rooms.
Connie's got comedy
Yes,
tomorrow
I'm
night
sure we'll be comfortable,
on her
Mr. Considine.
They're
Cosby,
adjoining
so
rooms.
I'll post that tomorrow.
As you see. And these doors bolt on the inside. I advise you to keep them locked all night.
We surely will.
Thank you for these dry clothes and for the tea.
You're quite welcome, I assure you. Now just try to get a good night's sleep. Everything will be all right in the morning.
Oh, Jerry, I'm scared.
So is Butch. And so am I.
What'll we do?
First thing to do is bolt the door.
He's blind. Yet he frightens me, Jerry. The way he ordered his brother knocked down. Jerry, there's something I've got to tell you.
What is it?
Drop one.
The name of that family of old-time wreckers is Considine.
You mean these are the people?
Their ancestors used to loot ships.
And now they're working on motorists. Poor Vincent tried to...
Yeah, one flew out. I think that's the only one. Did she just say old time records? This is from 1940s, and she said old time records. Why? Almost 100, 80 years later, old time radio. Oh, how weird! That was weird.
Jerry, what are we going to do?
We've got to get out of here before they come up to finish us off. Let's take a look out the window.
Oh, it's pitch black out there.
Look, by the streak of lightning, did you see?
Yes, I did. That man, that Matt, standing under the tree with a rifle.
We're stuck. No escape.
What's that?
Someone tapping against the wall.
In there. Can you hear me?
Who is it?
It's Vincent. I'm in the room next door to you. It's locked on the outside. Can you get me out?
We'll be right there. Quiet, Butch.
Oh, Jerry, maybe there's a chance if Vincent will help us.
Come on, kid.
Yeah.
No noise. Come on. Here, this is the door.
Look, it's bolted on the outside. They must keep him locked up all the time.
Well, here goes. Vincent?
Here I am. Don't make any noise. My brother has ears like a cat. And don't let him fool you. He may be blind, but he's more dangerous than any man who can see.
How are we going to get out of here? Matt's watching outside with a rifle.
Listen. The piano.
My brother is amusing himself in the dark. He always plays the piano when he has something on his mind.
Do you know any way for us to get out of here?
Well, there's only a slim chance. Now listen to me carefully. The only chance is to get out the back way. But you have to pass the open living room door downstairs. And Greg is in there at the piano.
And what'll we do?
Well, you wait here. I'll go down first and see if they've left the cellar door unlocked. I'll come back for you. Please, don't move until I return.
Be careful.
Don't worry. I will.
Jerry, what'll happen if Greg hears him?
Greg will probably call Matt and he'll lock him up again.
And what'll become of us?
We'll worry about that later.
Jerry, he stopped playing.
Yeah.
Do you think he heard Vincent coming down? Jerry, Greg caught him. What'll we do?
Come on, we're going down.
The lights are all out down here.
I don't hear anything.
Where do you think Greg is?
Maybe waiting to jump us in the dark. Come on, I don't care. Stick behind me. We're going in the living room. Where's Butch?
I don't know. What is it?
My foot touched something. A body. Then I'm going to take a chance on the flashlight. Stand by.
All right. Great Scott. What is it?
Look.
What is it? That isn't Vincent. It's Greg. He's been...
They really worked this actor in this episode, right? He had to play a cat, and he's got to play a guy going, oh. Oh, man, too much.
Stabbed.
Oh, watch out. Vincent is somewhere around. He'll kill you.
What do you mean?
My brother Vincent, the one who's been doing the wrecking. We always keep him locked up. But tonight, he got away. Planted the detour sign. Cut the trees.
Vincent did all that.
Matt and I, we tried to stop him. Matt went out to the road, took down the detour sign, but it was too late. Watch out. He'll be back. He'll kill you.
He's dead.
Jerry. Poor Greg. And we thought of... Oh, the lights.
Thank you for waiting for me.
Vincent.
Where'd you get that rifle?
From Matt. He won't need it anymore.
What are you going to do?
What do you think?
You're crazy.
Well, aren't we all? Now, my good friends, if you'll just say a prayer. Any little prayer will do.
Don't point that gun at my sister.
It won't do you any good to stand in front of her. This rifle is a 30-30. Now, if you're ready...
Jerry, he's mad.
Look out!
Wait! Attaboy, Butch! Let go of the gun!
The gun went off in his face.
Yeah, the dog's got it.
Take it easy, kid. He's dead. Don't look at him. He isn't pretty to look at. Butch, you did all right. Oh, kid, you can write your feature story now. The story of the wreckers of Hurricane Cove. And it'll be under your own byline, too.
Oh, I'm going to write it under a double byline, Jerry. The Wreckers of Hurricane Cove by Linda Watson and Butch.
Well, Butch, how does it feel to have a byline? You like it. You like collaborating, don't you? Especially with a pretty girl like Linda, huh? Which just goes to prove that there's a little bit of wolf in the best of dogs.
But do you know the difference between a wolf call and a wolf whistle, Mr. Host?
Let me think. When a fella gives a wolf whistle, he's starved for love.
And when he gives a wolf call, he's just plain starved. In which case, there's just one thing to do. Feed him. But if you really want to appeal to his better nature, see that he winds up every meal with a good big cup of satisfying Lipton tea. Men certainly go for that brisk Lipton flavor. It's so lively and full of zip. So make a note right now to ask your grocer for Lipton tea tomorrow morning. Once you taste full-bodied Lipton tea, you'll know why you find Lipton tea in more teacups than any other brand of tea in the world. For Lipton is tea at its delicious best. Start enjoying it real soon. Get the tea with brisk flavor. Get Lipton tea.
Parting word of advice, friends. If you should ever awake from a hideous nightmare and find yourself driving in a mental fog along a lane that has no turning, with madmen lurking behind trees, waiting to strike you down, and strange beasts with red tongues lapping at your ankles, and the bare and ugly trees stretching forth their gnarled arms to crush you, and there is no escape. No escape at all. Why worry about it? You won't come out alive anyway. Oh, by the way, this month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is Benefit Performance by Richard Sage. And next week, the makers of Lipton Tea and Lipton Soups will bring you another Inner Sanctum story, directed by Hyman Brown, and called Murder in the Night. Correction. There'll be 3 murders. You know, it's going to take a lot of nerve to hear this tale out, so I don't suppose you'll be listening. That is, unless you've just got to find out how a brass button in a dead man's hand traps the murderer. If so, tune in to Inner Sanctum next week at this same time. Until then, good night. Pleasant dreams.
Okay, that was Detour to Terror, Inner Sanctum. That was quite funny. Not the best episode, but the guy was a little annoying doing the dog and the grunts. I don't know. Some things can get on your nerves. This is going really, really well. Right now, I'm like laying floor in the saloon area. As you can see, it's the front steps right here that's going to take you into the saloon. Here's a back door to the saloon. And yeah, everything's built up here. So this is just laying tile. So it takes a little time, like in real life, laying tile. I'm getting fingerprints all over it, so I'm going to have to scrub the floors after. Hopefully I got a good, small, tiny little mop. Anyways, it is what it is. Let's see. And not a long and a nice tea. Let's see. Am I missing anything in chat? Some ventriloquist cans. Yeah, you could see the fingerprints on the video too. This dude could be the dog, the dying man, and the woman. Oh yeah, I did. Yes, he's like the Mel Blanc of old time radio. Is what he is. But yeah, coming together good. I got bag 2. Actually getting there. Almost done with bag 2. I'm liking that. Hopefully, I think this is going to be a quick build. I'm getting quicker with building these sets because, I mean, once you start getting the hang. Listen, how many modulars have I built already? Houses 1, 2, 3. I mean, a lot. I've built a lot in a short period of time. But this one I love. It's so far. It's been fantastic. Can't wait to see how the lights go on. I hope it's not hard. Anyways, thank you, Edward. Definitely time consuming. Edward, well, I mean, again, you got to look at it as this a couple different ways. It can be time consuming depending on how long you do it throughout the day. Listen, I only I give myself 3 to 4 hours a day to build. Usually while I'm streaming here is when I do it. So like a build like this, 3 to 4 hours, I could do, probably I'll have 3 streams. If I end up having 4 streams, I'd be a little surprised, but maybe, I don't know. So it just depends how much time you put into it. Also, just very, very therapeutic, you know. I enjoy just putting these on, chatting with you guys. And hey, Barry Geekler, what's going on, Barry? Good to see you. Thank God I made it time to see Dino's pretty hands again. Oh boy, just not, you know. Anyways, yeah. So it just depends on how much time you put into it each day. You don't want to sit there to the point that you drive yourself nuts. I mean, you want to enjoy it, and it's the therapeutic process, and then the joy of making something. And I can't tell you how much joy I get out of the big Lego city that I'm building, which Susie's Antique Store, which I am going to get from FunWhole, and the Fantasy Bakery, and sure, that's going in my city. I'm, you know, a lot of, you know, times they'll tell you don't mix them up. I'm like, are you kidding me? A city's a city. If a modular can go in it, I'm making it as different and as cool as possible. And wait, when you guys see the new update, you guys are going to go, wow, that's pretty cool what you did. Because now I got a city block on the one end. I moved some stuff around. So it is all different there. Let's see. Hello. That's Juno. Good. Yeah, no, you would never want to like burn yourself out building this stuff, Edward. That's for sure. I don't think I could sit here for 9-10 hours. People do, though. People will sit there and pump out a set in a day. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, let's do another Inner Sanctum as I continue on with my build. 6:30, 7:30, so a little bit over an hour. I've done this much, so that's pretty good. Let's do You Could Die Laughing. Also from 1946. January, February, March, April, May 7th of 1946, You Could Die Laughing. Inner Sanctum Mysteries. Here we go.
Lipton Tea and Lipton Soups present Inner Sanctum Mysteries. Good evening, friends. This is your host to welcome you once again to the Inner Sanctum. Do come in and join our circle, but watch out you don't get double-crossed. But, oh, you're disturbed by those bodies dangling from the ceiling. Well, you know some people, they just die to come here. Then they hang around week after week and never say a word.
Well, I have a theory about that, Mr. Host.
What's that, Mary?
Maybe the reason they're hanging around is because they think we're going to serve refreshments later on.
Hey, that could be, all right.
You know, lots of folks are like that. And who can blame them? When there's good food,
They're so
they
witty.
just won't leave. And that's especially true if there's a chance that Lipton tea is on the menu. Now, the reason for that is simply this. Lipton tea is tea at its delicious best because Lipton's has such grand brisk flavor. In fact, brisk is the very word the tea experts themselves use to describe Lipton's full, hearty taste. You'll agree, I'm sure, the very first time you try it, for Lipton's is so lively and full-bodied and satisfying. Yes, it's that brisk flavor that makes more people buy and enjoy Lipton's than any other brand of tea in the world. So whenever you ask for tea, make sure you ask for Lipton tea.
And now, friends, draw close your chairs. If there are no faint hearts among us, we'll begin tonight's tale of terror. A story written especially for Inner Sanctum by Michael Sklar. Our star tonight is Santa Soteka, who plays the role of Elwood Fitch in You Could Die Laughing.
We wanted to escape our problem, to forget about it, so we went to the movies. But there was a doctor in the story, and every time he appeared on the screen, I remembered. Halfway through the picture, I couldn't sit there anymore. I nudged Catherine, and we got up and walked out. The street was cold and dark and empty.
Elwood, what do you want to do now?
I just want to go back home.
All right, dear.
Get in the car.
Elwood, I want to talk to you.
All right, there's time for that.
Please, dear, let's stop being silly about this thing. Let's face it.
I am facing it.
But you're not.
Don't argue with me.
For heaven's sake, don't you understand? The doctor said you only got a year to live unless we move to Arizona.
Doctors are human. They can make mistakes.
Not 3, Doctor.
I don't care.
Oh, why are you so stubborn? Why are you so dead set against...
You're going to die if you don't move to Arizona, the doctor told her. What kind of advice is that? Back in the day, if you had nerves, you know, remember the Three Stooges where they, or even Laurel and Hardy, where if it's your nerves, you need to go up and get some fresh air in the mountains. That was their prescription. I think that's funny. So this doctor's diagnosis, not very good. That's for sure. Hey, AJ, what is going on? Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. It's funny listening to what they said back in the day, that's for sure.
Arizona.
You ought to know why, Catherine.
Me?
Yes, you.
Because of me?
Yes. I haven't given you much, Catherine, not even children. But I've been able to make a living. We've been able to get along. What would I do in Arizona without a job and without money?
Elwood, slow down.
I can still drive a car, Catherine.
You're speeding.
Let me alone.
Passing through a red light. Elwood, that man crossing the street. Look out!
Catherine. Did I?
Yes. He's lying on the ground.
Good Lord. He walked in front of the car.
Well, we've got to help him. Is he?
He's dead.
Oh, Elwood.
I didn't mean to do it. I couldn't help it. It happened so fast.
Better call the police.
Police?
Well, you said he's dead.
The police? Catherine, there's no one but us on the street. Nobody else saw it happen.
What difference does that make?
Get back in the car.
Elwood, are you suggesting
I was speeding. I passed a red light. And now this. They'll arrest me. They'll put me on trial for manslaughter.
But my...
He's dead, isn't he? We can't help him. It won't do me any good if I go to jail.
But running away, leaving the body...
Catherine, we've got enough troubles without this. We're going to get into the car and drive straight to the garage.
Good to
I've got a
see you,
year to
Evening.
live.
Greg.
And I'm not going to spend it in prison.
Good evening, Mr. Fitch. Want me to put the car away for you?
Yes.
Show must have let out early, huh?
We didn't stay to the end, Ann. I didn't care for the picture.
Ah, them pictures. I always tell my wife. Say, what did you hit?
Hit?
Yeah, your front bumper. Blood on it.
That blood. A dog ran in front of the car. Do me a favor, Dan. Wash it off before you put the car away.
Sure thing, Mr. Fitch.
I didn't sleep well that night. Bad dreams, all mixed up. About doctors. They all looked like the man lying on the street. And their faces were covered with blood. I woke up exhausted.
Breakfast is on the table, Elwood.
Just a moment.
That newspaper can wait. Your toast is getting cold.
Oh, here it is.
What are you looking for?
Wait a second.
The story.
Your toast is getting cold? Isn't it a fact that you can butter up toast, and if you don't eat it, like, within 5 seconds, the toast is going to be cold? Right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Toast gets cold immediately. Unless you keep it on a warm plate or something. I don't know.
You mean last night? It's in the newspaper?
Listen to this. Stenger, victim of hit-and-run driver. The body of Augie Stenger, underworld character, was discovered early this morning at the intersection of Broad and Main Streets. Police believe Stenger was the victim of a hit-and-run driver.
The front door.
Yes.
Do you think it's the police?
I don't know. Get a grip on yourself. I'll see who it is.
Morning. You, Mr. Fitch?
Yes. What can I do for you?
I don't like to talk business on the front doorstep.
Business?
It's about last night, that accident.
What accident?
Don't try to act innocent. I saw that hit and run. Now can I come in?
Let me handle this, Catherine. Who are you?
The name is Chandler. I was sitting in my car last night at Broad and Main Street. I saw the accident and I followed you home. Thought I ought to talk to you about it this morning.
What do you want?
The cops are looking for that hit-and-run driver. I'm the only guy that knows you're him. It ought to be worth something for me to keep my mouth
Like
shut.
butter and jelly.
You want money?
Yeah.
Blackmail.
Don't talk to him, Elwood. Send him away.
No, we can't do that, Catherine. He'd go to the police.
But Elwood...
Leave this to me. All right, Chandler. I'll give you the money.
How much?
$500.
As chicken feed.
1,000.
Ah, now you're talking sense. When do I get it?
I'll give it to you now. It's in my coat pocket. Here. Here it is. You'll find exactly $1,000 in $20 bills.
Thanks.
Now, get out of here.
Now, wait a minute. Don't get nasty, Fitch. I'm doing you a favor.
You got your money. Now get out.
I'm going. But I'll be back. We'll call this the first installment.
Elwood, where did you get that money you gave him?
Money?
Last night you said we couldn't go to Arizona because we had no money. You just gave that man $1,000. Where'd you get it?
I was ashamed to tell you. I took it from Stinger.
Stinger?
The man we hit. I put my hand inside his coat to see if his heart was beating. The money was in the inside pocket.
Elwood, how could you?
Don't look at me like that, Catherine. We've been married a long time. Long enough for you to know that I'm not a crook or a murderer.
But to kill a man and then take his money.
Try to understand. All day long I've been thinking. A year to live. A year to live. When you know you're going to die, it does something to you. You forget what's right and what's wrong. I thought, with that $1,000 and the few hundred we've got in the bank, I thought we might be able to go to Arizona after all.
Well, the money is gone.
Yes.
Don't think about it anymore.
How can I stop thinking? You heard what Chandler said. That $1,000 is the first installment. He'll blackmail us out of everything we own.
Chandler.
Shut the door, quick.
Who is it, Catherine?
Shut that door, Mrs. Fitch.
You were here only yesterday. What do you want now?
The cops are after me. You and me are on the same boat.
What have you done? What do they want you for?
Murder.
Murder?
You shouldn't have come here.
I figure this place ought to make a pretty good hideout.
No. You can't stay here.
Who's going to stop me?
I won't allow it, Elwood. I won't have this man in my house.
All right, cut the squawk.
No. I stood a lot in you, Chandler, but stay away from me.
Don't you dare touch him. Elwood! Elwood!
Don't cry, Catherine. I'm all right.
Any more back talk, Fitch?
No.
Okay. I'm moving in.
He took over the house. He used Catherine and me as servants, treated us like dirt. There was nothing we could do about it. Just the three of us, cooped up in that little house. We couldn't go out. Food and cigarettes were sent up from the store. Went on like that until Tuesday morning.
Hush, Elwood. Chandler will hear you.
He can't. He's in the bedroom.
You're going to give yourself up?
I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand it.
Well, do what you think is best, darling.
I've made up my mind. Rather than put up with that man, I'd prefer to go to prison. I'll call the police right now. Hello, operator. Get me police headquarters.
Got a pal at headquarters, Fitch?
Hey, Chandler. Don't point that gun at me.
Cancel that call.
Oh, all right. Hello, operator. Operator. Never mind that call to police headquarters. No, nothing's wrong. I just made a mistake.
Listen to the fear in his voice. Forget the call. I don't need police. No, please. I don't need police. Come on. Oh, it's so funny. I love it, though. I love it.
Thank you.
You made your last mistake, Fitch.
Imagine that black villain, Jack Chandler. First he blackmails Elwood, then he blackjacks him, and now he blackballs him from using his own telephone. You know what I'd do if I were Elwood? I'd apply for a writ of habeas corpus. That is, if Chandler doesn't turn Elwood into a corpus first.
Things do look bad for Elwood, I must admit, Mr. Host. My, what a lot of unpleasant surprises he's been having.
Yes, and he's in for a lot more, Mary.
Goodness. Well, right now, I'd much rather talk about pleasant surprises.
Well, that's a lady's privilege, Mary. You go right ahead.
A good instance of a pleasant surprise happened to me one of those glorious sunny days last week. Florence Perry and I drove out to the woods to gather spring wildflowers, but we'd scarcely reached the woods when the...
Exactly, Chris, the melodrama, but only in old-time radio, right? Yeah, I think I've got most of the first, like the laid floor and all of that stuff. It's just like architecture, man. I mean, building a house or something. You build the base, make the walls. I think that's actually what I'm going to do now. There's actually a door here, so a door is going to go in, some walls, stuff like that. Even some, looks like some maybe bar stools or tables or something like that. So it's coming together. Onto bags 3.
I clouded over, and in a few minutes we were chilled to the bone. Back to the car we hurried, figuring the whole afternoon was ruined. And it was then that Florence brought out that pleasant surprise I mentioned. A whole big thermos of heavenly hot Lipton tea. Well, we sat down and had ourselves a regular tea party right there in the woods. Suddenly everything seemed bright and cheery again. Lipton's had certainly saved the day with its bracing, cheery taste, its delightful, brisk flavor. The same thing happens so often with so many folks. Any time during the day, Lipton's is a pleasant, refreshing treat. Tea with a glorious, full-bodied tang that adds extra zest to every occasion. The reason? It's worthwhile remembering, friends. Lipton tea has brisk flavor.
Now, friends, let's get back to those lovely people, Jack Chandler and Elwood Fitch. Chandler the murderer and Elwood the hit-and-run driver. It's quite a pair. Together they make a full house. A moment ago, Elwood tried to give himself up to the police, but Chandler caught him at the telephone.
So, you were going to double-cross me, huh?
No. I was only going to tell the police about myself.
What do you suppose would happen to me when the cops came for you? I ought to kill you right now.
Oh, no.
You shut up. First thing I'm going to do is pull out that phone so you don't make no more calls to headquarters. Yeah. That settles the phone. Now, stand up.
What are you going to...
The door.
Can you see who it is through the window, Fitch?
Yes.
Take a look. But remember, I still got this gun. Don't try any tricks.
It's a man.
Recognize him?
No.
Now, listen. Before you open the door, I'm taking your wife into the next room with me. I'll be able to watch you and hear every word you say. You know what I'll do to Mrs. Fitch if you double-cross me.
Yes.
Okay. Now, answer the door.
Mr. Fitch? Elwood Fitch?
That's right.
May I come in?
Yes, of course.
I'm Detective Farley from headquarters. Here's my badge. Mind if I ask a few questions?
What about?
Well, I've been assigned to the Stenger case. Familiar with it?
I read about it in the newspaper. A hit-and-run driver.
That's the case. What do you know about it, Fitch?
Why, nothing.
Are you sure?
See here, you don't
You
think...
and your wife went to the movies Friday night, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Did you drive straight to your garage from the movies?
Why, no. It wasn't a good movie, so we left early and went for a ride.
Did you pass the corner of Broad and Main Streets?
No. We went in the other direction.
You're lying, Fitch. I've been checking garages for that hit-and-run car. Your garage man told me you brought your car in Friday night with blood on the bumper.
I told him we ran into a dog.
Don't make me laugh. Your story wouldn't hold up a minute if that fool garage man hadn't washed the blood off.
Are you going to arrest me?
I need evidence first. When I get it, I'll come back.
Blood on the bumper. That cop is wise to you, Fitch.
He said
Here
he'd
we
be
go
back.
with the
Sure.
sticker.
Be snooping around looking for proof. Yeah, this is one heck of a hideout. I'm leaving.
You're going away?
Glad of that, ain't you? Well, you got nothing to celebrate.
What do you mean?
I need time, plenty of time to get away from the city. I'm not going to leave you here to squeal to the cops as soon as I'm out of the door.
We wouldn't tell the police.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure you don't. I got one murder rap on me already. It might as well be 3.
3?
Elwood, he means...
Listen, Chandler. I swear we won't tell. Why should we? Remember what you said. We're both in the same boat. The police are after me, too.
You tried to double-cross me once before. I ain't taking any chances.
Please.
There's no use begging. It won't do no good.
When are you going to do it?
Before I go. Sometime after dark.
The rest of that day was a nightmare. Chandler wouldn't let me separate from Catherine. Everywhere we went, everything we did, he was always behind us with that gun in his hand. The gun. I had to take it away from him. He was much younger than I, big and tough. But I had to try. I watched for my
That helped
chance.
a little.
It came late in the afternoon. He was lighting a cigarette. He put the gun down on the living room table while he felt in his pockets for a match. Both of us were the same distance from the gun. I made a dive for it.
Hey, get away from that rod.
No, let go.
I killed you for this.
Catherine, help me. Grab his hand.
Let go of me. Let go.
Hold him, Catherine. Hang on to him.
He's dead.
I had to shoot him. I had to.
Now what will we do?
I don't know. What would he do if the positions were reversed?
Call the police.
No. The money. The money I gave him. The $1,000 I took from Stenger. He still got it. It's ours again, Catherine. We're going to Arizona.
Arizona?
Don't you see? It's just like it was before he came. We'll take the money and we'll go to Arizona.
But his body...
He's a murderer, he said so himself. We'll put the body into the car, drive out to the suburbs, and leave it on the highway. The police will think it was just another gangster murder. I was just able to squeeze the dead body into the luggage compartment.
Hurry, Elwood. Let's get away before one of the neighbors sees us.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, what's the matter?
The gasoline gauge. It's almost empty. We'll have to stop at the garage. I drove back to the garage, had Dan fill the tank, and paid him with one of the $20 bills I'd taken from the body of Stenger. Dan gave me a queer look as he brought me the change.
Here you are, Mr. Fitch. 13 gallons out of a $20 bill.
Thanks, Dan.
Oh, by the way, did a detective come around to your house the other day?
Yes, he did.
I hope you don't hold it against me, telling him about that blood on the bumper of your car.
Oh, of course not, Dan. Why should I? After all, I had nothing to hide.
No, that's right. Well, you know, to tell you the truth, Mr. Fitch, I was a little suspicious of you. I thought you really might be that hit-and-run driver. Not that it matters much now.
No?
No. The police don't care much now about that driver.
Why not?
Oh, he's small potatoes now. I just heard over the radio that that guy Stenger was just about dead even before that hit-and-run driver hit him.
How could that be?
Well, the way the radio explained it, Stenger was shot in the back, and he staggered out into the street, and then the car hit him.
But you said he wasn't killed by the car.
Yeah, that's right. The coroner's inquest showed that he died of a bullet wound. He'd been murdered. The police even know who killed him.
They know the killer's name?
Uh-huh. I heard it over the radio just a minute ago. Oh, yeah, Chandler. Jack Chandler.
I don't remember driving away from the garage. It kept going around in my brain. Chandler had murdered Stenger. Catherine and I had run away from a crime we hadn't committed. No wonder Chandler had seen the accident. No wonder he feared the police. And now he was dead. His body packed into the luggage compartment of the car.
Elwood, you're not listening to me.
What? Oh, I was thinking about Chandler.
That's what I was talking about. If he killed Stenger, Why can't we go to the police and confess everything?
Because we killed Chandler.
Well, it was self-defense.
Would the police believe that?
They'd have to believe it.
Even if they did, it would be murder in the third degree. They'd learn about the $1,000. I'd be held for trial. We'd never get to Arizona. No, Catherine. We've got to go through with our original plan.
Elwood, that siren.
It's a police car behind us.
What are you going to do?
They may not be after us. If they do stop us, let me do the talking.
Hey, forward! Stop that car!
Don't be afraid, Catherine. I'll handle it.
Uh-huh. Middle-aged man and woman. You answer the description, all right. Name Fitch?
Yes. What's the trouble, officer?
There's an alert out for you. You bought gas back at your garage a few minutes ago. Paid for it with a $20 bill.
That's right.
Got any more of those bills on you?
Why, yes.
Hand them over.
Here. Here they are.
Uh-huh. Looks like it's all here. This is the stuff, all right.
What stuff? What are you talking about?
This money, it's counterfeit. Just like the bill you gave the garage man.
Counterfeit?
Phony money down to the last dollar. Move over. We're driving to headquarters.
Well, that's the story, Detective Farley. You'll find Chandler's body in the back of my car.
Willing to put your signature to this confession, Mr. Fitch?
Yes, I'll sign it.
Oh, you could have saved yourself a lot of grief. I knew you were the hit-and-run driver when I came around to your house. But I needed the proof, and you gave it to me when you broke one of these phony $20 bills.
Well, did you know then about the money?
Sure. Stinger had a long record as a counterfeiter. His girl told us he was carrying $1,000 in bad money the night he was killed. Naturally, when we didn't find the money on his body, we knew it had been taken by the hit-and-run driver. And the blood on the bumper of your car was the giveaway.
Well, now that you've caught me, what's going to happen to me?
Well, depends on the jury. You might get 20 years. Might get life imprisonment. You might even get acquitted.
I'm in the courtroom now. Catherine beside me, waiting for the decision. The jury just filed in. The judge has asked if they reached a verdict. The foreman of the jury is rising to his feet.
Your Honor, we find the defendants not guilty.
Catherine.
Oh, Elwood, thank heaven.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Oh, darling, you were right from the very beginning. Money on...
I like, the details are starting to come together with the bar. And I like the bar, like the rags to clean off the tables and stuff. If you can see that. Unique way of putting that there, so, yeah.
No money. We're going to Arizona.
Well, fooled you that time, friend. Slipped you a happy ending when you weren't set for it.
Oh, boy.
But that jury decision, I don't know. It sounded a bit fishy. But seriously, friends, do you like happy endings? I don't, but then some people do. You know, someday, just to make sure, I'm going to have some research organization take a gallows poll.
Well, Mr. Host, that seems a lot of trouble to go to when there's plenty of proof right in front of your nose that says people love happy endings.
And what is that proof, Mary?
Oh, boy.
It's the way thousands and thousands of families every day top off delicious meals with delicious Lipton tea. There's a real happy ending for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, folks. Try it and see. In fact, so that you won't forget it, add Lipton tea to your grocery list right now, this very minute. It's the world's favorite tea, and you're always sure of getting tea at its tastiest when you get Lipton's. Because remember, Lipton tea has that marvelous brisk flavor.
parting word of advice, friends, drawn from the experiences of Elwood Fitch. If your wife wants you to take a trip, don't argue. No, don't protest. Simply bash her on the head and deliver her to the police. You can always say she tripped. Oh, yes, this month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is I Hate Blondes by Wolf Kaufman. And next week, the makers of Lipton Tea and Lipton Soups will bring you another Inner Sanctum story directed by Hyman Brown and called Screams in the Night. Of course, there'll be lots of screams. The kind you like, blood-curdling. And there's the usual triangle. A man, his wife, and another girl. But the joker is, he who grasps best gasps last. Don't get it? And for the details, better be listening to Inner Sanctum next week. Until then, good night. Pleasant dreams.
Let's begin at the beginning of the meal, friends, with the soup. If you want soup to be both delicious and easy to prepare, make it Lipton's Noodle Soup. Here's a soup that has real honest-to-goodness chickeny flavor. It's full of tender noodles, and because it comes in modern soup mix form, it saves both time and money. Lipton's Noodle Soup mix is quick to make, and it makes lots more than canned soups, yet costs less. Try Lipton's Noodle Soup. And tune in next week for another Inner Sanctum mystery.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Okay, there you go. You'll die laughing. Dino, I saw one yesterday with a haunted house that was lit up. Looked awesome as well. Yeah, most of your Lego sets, and I do got the haunted mansion, the haunted house mansion thingy. It's a really big haunted house. You can light most of these sets up. They come with light sets, but the light sets are so much money, and the way that you connect all the lights up are through little wires for the tiny LED lights, and they connect to USB cords, which it would be an electrical mess. This one, on the other hand, FunWhole, has come up with an ingenious way of hiding the lights, and when I get to that, I'm going to be interested in seeing how easy it is to put and how much of it is hidden. Because I don't like wires sticking out. I'd rather have a city that's unlit and just put lights, over the city so that you could see it like it's daytime. It is a shame, though, because there are so many details on the inside. And maybe one day, once I build my city, I will get the lights to actually put in the actual modulars and buildings and stuff like that. But it's just very difficult. As it is, I'm trying to build as big a city as I possibly can and, take it from there. Right now I'm building a piano. This is a piano, and I'm going to put I guess they got a sticker for the keys, and that's what I'm doing right now. This is going to be the piano. So that's where I'm at right there with that. Nice, Dino. Didn't know you had one already. The Titanic light kit was $50. I know. They're expensive. The kits are expensive too. So, yeah, it's a hobby that's not cheap. But that's why these sets are like half, sometimes a quarter or a third of the price of a Lego set. Same amount of pieces. Like the Sherlock Holmes modular set that I built and the bakery was like a third of the cost of a Lego set. So whereas I love Lego and I love everything, I wish more modulars would come out. They come out once a year. But yeah, lots of really cool stuff, that's for sure. Let's see. Maybe you should update your Amazon wish list and put Lego stuff on there. Do you know? I did, Chris. If you go to the link for my Amazon wish list, there is a whole lot of Lego stuff on there. It's just, they're higher priced. So, the chances of anybody actually doing that, is, but man, I would appreciate it, and all the credit would go towards that person. That's for sure. But it is in my Amazon wish list, and I will be adding more stuff because I do need more stuff. But yeah, let's do another Inner Sanctum as I continue. I'm building the walls now, the outer part of the first floor. So, and the piano. I got to finish this piano. 8:30. Right a little bit after 9, I might stop just so I can get the overnight stream ready. It is going to be a mixed bag, so there will be a little bit of everything in the stream tonight. Just a little break from CBS Radio Mystery Theater and the detective stuff, even though there's going to be some detectives in there too, but just a little mixed bag of stuff. So with that said, let's do another Inner Sanctum. Let's do The Edge of Death from January 15th, 1946. Enjoy as I build the piano. Here we go.
Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup present Inner Sanctum Mystery. Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. Here's your host at the creaking door. Through these portals pass the world's most horrified people. Oh, what's the matter? Did my happy medium startle you? Sorry, I keep him around to get in the right spirit, Oh, by the way, if you feel a cold, thin sliver of steel across your neck in the next half hour, sit perfectly still. Someone's got an edge on you.
Gracious, Mr. Host, I'm afraid I'd have to move fast.
No, Mary, you must sit still. You wouldn't want to lose your head.
Well, I'll remember your advice, Mr. Host. But right now, I have some advice for our Lipton listeners. A teapot can't talk. But if it could, I think it would tell you the same thing that I do about making tea. I think it would probably say, the most delicious tea is the...
Let me just recap. For anybody coming in, I am building, it's not a Lego set, but it's a FunWhole, it's called. The company's called FunWhole, and they're like Fantasy, FunWhole, Lego. They all kind of make these sets, and this is the Old West, the Western Saloon. So it's going to be an all lit up saloon, and it's coming across pretty good here. Thing with FunWhole is it comes with the light set, which will be interesting to see the whole thing lit up. As you can see there, kind of close up, that's the saloon when it's going to be done. Yeah, it looks really, really good. My first FunWhole set. Can't wait to see how it turns out. Building a piano now, and just wanted to give an update on that. So there you go. Continuing on, The Edge of Death, Inner Sanctum.
With the most flavor. And I'll bet it would cast its vote, as so many folks do, for Lipton tea. Because Lipton's has that grand, brisk flavor. The flavor that's so different from other teas. The flavor that fills your cup with pleasure. You'll taste a world of tangy, full-bodied goodness in Lipton's. It's tea at its tastiest. So make that next pot of tea you brew at your house Lipton tea.
And now here's a little tale of horror that speaks for itself. The Edge of Death. Written by Frederick Maytho and starring Larry Haynes in the role of Ralph. We're going to tell you of a night Satan played a game of murder along a deserted strip of Manhattan's waterfront. For his sport, he chose two friends. For his victim, a woman. And the weapon he suggested he had long ago placed in the hands of another murderer. The weapon was a long, slender, graceful rapier, which first drew blood at the hand of Rasputin, the mad monk of Russia.
Oh, so true, Edward, yes.
Open up. Ralph Fitkin. Well, come on in, man. What's the matter with you? You're soaked. No hat, no coat.
Denton, you're my best friend, my only friend. You've got to help me.
Well, I just got back from Chicago. I was going to drop over to your shop a little later.
You got back too late. You could have helped me. No, it's too late.
Well, what's the matter, Ralph? What have you done? Well, what's that in the package? Why, it's the antique sword I gave you when you were married. Ralph!
Naked steel always looks different. Coated with blood.
Ralph, you fool. You didn't...
Yes. I just pierced a woman's heart with that rapier. Not 15 minutes ago.
Warned you about your temper ever since we were kids. You almost killed me once, do you remember?
You warned me about my hobby, too. You said I had a
psychosis. That's what we psychiatrists call it. Your unnatural love of steel blades, your worship of ancient weapons and tempered steel. Well, it's off balance.
There's nothing in the world more beautiful than a piece of true hand-forged steel. It's an art as old as man.
Yes, I know. We've been over all that before, but now you're a murderer. And I want to know everything that happened.
It's too late, Denton. I only
Maybe I can dig something out of you that might help your defense. Now, Ralph, close your eyes. Close your eyes and let your mind wander. Tell me the first image you get. Tell me every detail, no matter what.
I see the wedding. Here at your house. The guests have left. Ingrid is blonde and beautiful in white satin. She's standing beside me. And you come toward me with a pat.
Denton, oh, it was so good of you to make such a beautiful wedding for us. You are the best man ever.
Oh, no. Maybe the second best man ever. Ralph was best today.
Well, you gave me some stiff competition, then.
I've got another wedding present for you, Ralph. I waited till now to bring it out because I didn't think the others would understand. Here, open it.
Okay, here is the finished piano. I think that looks pretty darn good. There's the piano, sheet music, keys, the what you call it, pressure, the foot pedal down at the bottom. Looks pretty good. Placing it in the saloon now.
Do you like it, Ralph? Is it a good one?
This is a good one. Why, it's the most beautiful rapier I've ever seen. The balance and the lines. Magnificent steel. Look, Ingrid. Isn't it wonderful?
It will be the very nicest sword in your collection, darling. As well as your last.
His last?
Oh, yes, Denton. I promised Ingrid no more auctions.
And he'll keep his promise this time. I'm going to change, darling. Won't take me long.
All right, darling, hurry.
You really like that blade, don't you, Ralph?
Like it. It's beautiful. Where did you find it?
Well, I saw it yesterday in a small, junky antique shop in the village. Little Russian fellow runs it.
Oh, did he tell you anything about the blade? I mean, where he got it?
No,
Later, horror junkie, and hello.
Was, black lacquer on
broken bone
and
bricks. Good to
steel
see
was
you.
superior.
He said something there.
He mumbled on
It's
about
not a
wanting to
Lego
get rid of
set,
it
but it's a
before the full
FunWhole
moon,
set, and
something
it's
about it being
top
an evil
quality.
thing.
Looking
Claimed it
good.
once belonged to Rasputin, the mad monk of Russia.
Say, I wonder if it did.
I doubt it. Anyhow, he finished by saying that whoever owned it would have evil luck, and failing to get rid of it before the full moon, would die by violence. I'll take it back to him if you like, Ralph.
No, not on your life, then. But don't mention that nonsense to Ingrid, will you?
I remember all that myself, Ralph. I left for Chicago that night. Now, what's the next thing that comes to your mind as important?
Well, about 3 weeks ago, I was working on some knives in the shop. Ingrid had left. I was alone. The shop door opened, and she was there.
She? Who, Ralph?
Stasha. She was beautiful. Tall. White as marble. Dressed in black. And beautiful.
I beg your pardon. What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You said beautiful. There's no cause to be embarrassed. I have heard this said before.
What can I do for you, Miss...
Kasov. Stasia Kasov. You own something that I would like to buy.
Oh, what is it?
A rapier. A Russian rapier. I saw it in your window as I passed.
It's not for sale.
Oh, really? Are you sure? I will pay you well. Say $100.
Sorry.
Very well. Perhaps you might change your mind. Here. Here is my card. Come and see me if you do.
Well, thanks, but I...
Shall we say before the next full moon, Ralph?
Ralph, if it weren't for that blood-stained rapier on the table, I'd say you were lying. How could this woman know your name or anything about the legend of the rapier?
I know how.
What happened then, Ralph?
I've handled steel all my life. I've forged it, pounded it, tempered it, ground it to razor edge, and I've never cut myself. After Stasha left, I put the rapier to the stone. And as I worked, I kept seeing her eyes in the forge fire, glinting with evil beauty. Kept hearing her voice.
Ralph, shall we say before the full moon?
I turned suddenly to see if she was there, and I tripped. The rapier fell, and I fell against the upturned point. Ah! Oh! Oh!
Rolf, what's happened? Rolf!
I'm all right. Pull it out. Straight out.
Oh, no. No, I can't do that.
All right, I'll do it then. I'll do it.
Oh. Rolf, your arm is all blood.
Oh, it's not bad. It just passed through the flesh. Call Dr. Burns.
Oh, those stupid knives. Why don't you get rid of them?
While Ingrid phoned, it crept over me the deadening certainty that my fate was tied to Stasha Kasov's.
Steady hands, steady hands.
Death was lunging at us with Rasputin's rapier.
Tweezers help, though.
And I was unarmed. I told Ingrid about the woman. I told her about Stasha's offer of $100 for the blade. I shouldn't have.
And to turn down $100 for it, Ralph, that's the limit.
Ingrid, I can't expect everyone to understand some things about my character, but I do expect you to try.
I think I do understand, Ralph. I think you didn't want to sell that thing because you want that woman to come back.
That was your first quarrel, Ralph?
Yes. There were lots more. Things got worse. We quarreled a lot. It wasn't Ingrid's fault. I was changing. I kept thinking of Stasia. Her eyes mocked me. I tore up a card in anger, but I'd memorized the address. It was an old Dutch mansion on Littner Street. I had to see her again. There was a light in the house. And oddly enough, the front door was open a bit. I rang a long time, but no one answered. I obeyed an impulse and walked in. There was a coal fire going in the high-ceiling living room. It cast dancing shadows on a life-sized oil painting above. A cold hand gripped my heart when I saw that painting. It was the painting of a man in a monk's habit. And his gnarled hand rested on the hilt of a jeweled rapier of exquisite beauty.
Yes, the man in the picture is long dead. But his mad spirit is in this room. It laughs from within you, Rolf Wittkuhn. It has seized your body.
Stasia.
You know, if I were Ralph, I wouldn't be seen dead with somebody else's spirit. You can't tell what will happen to a man when the spirit moves him.
Goodness, Mr. Host. That sword has certainly brought Rolf bad luck.
Yes, Mary. It got him in trouble right up to the hilt. And we're only halfway through the story.
Oh, yes, there's still a lot more excitement to look forward to. And I think looking forward to things is so much fun. For instance, imagine you're brewing up a pot of Lipton tea. Well, you know there's enjoyment ahead just as soon as that water starts bubbling in the tea kettle. The very sound of it is warm and cheerful and friendly, like Lipton's itself. And then, when you lift that cup to your lips, oh, there's such a deep-down satisfaction in Lipton's brisk flavor, because it's so mellow and satisfying, brimming with lively, full-bodied goodness. Yes, all those little promises of enjoyment are completely fulfilled in your first delicious sip of brisk-flavored Lipton tea.
Well, you certainly have a point there, Mary. But now, back to Ralph Wiedkin as he tells his friend the events leading to the murder he has committed tonight. He's telling of his first visit to the strange house of Stasia Kasov.
So the Kasov woman convinced you that the spirit or the ghost of Rasputin had taken possession of your body. And you fell for it.
Oh, I fought against believing it, Denton. But it did explain so many of the strange promptings that had been stirring me all up inside.
She say anything more about it?
No. I turned to face her. She was a smiling column of white beauty, sheathed in black satin. Miss Kasov, how is it?
Stasia. Call me Stasia.
How is it you know my name? What do you know about the rapier?
Does it matter? You have changed your mind, perhaps? About selling me your rapier? Hmm?
No, I came to ask you about it.
Or you came because you are confused? We will discuss it. But first, let us have some tea. Yes?
I examined the room while she was out of it. On the wall across from the fireplace were 5 oil paintings. All of them portraits of men. At first, I thought the light was playing tricks. It wasn't. Each face was painted with closed eyes. Each was a study in sleep or death.
You like my painting? Come and sit down. We'll have tea and talk.
Who are those men you painted, Stasia?
The 5 men you see in those paintings, each own the rapier you now possess.
Good Lord. Then they're...
Dead.
And the dates on the paintings?
Those are the dates on which they died, Rolf. Each on a day of the full moon. Each kept the rapier beyond the time he should have. More tea?
Stasia's eyes were eager and wide. My ears began to ring. I recall setting the cup down. I remember Stasia's voice a long way off.
Russian tea strong, my friend, and so are Russian legends.
This is all so fantastic, Ralph. Are you sure it wasn't something you dreamed?
Something I dreamed? No, she drugged me. It was no dream. Those portraits were no dream. The painting of Rasputin was no dream. They were there when I woke. Stasia was gone. The fire was out. My head ached. There was an easel near the lamp. It hadn't been there before. I shuffled toward it. There was a fresh painting on the easel. I stared at the face before me. Its eyes were closed in sleep. The face was mine. There was a date painted in it. It was January 15th. Why? Yes, that's tonight. I couldn't find Stasia, so I dashed out of the house, cursing like a madman. It was 4 a.m. when I reached home. Ingrid was waiting for me. She was crying.
Rolf! Rolf, darling, where have you been?
Why? What difference does it make?
You've been to see that Kossoff woman.
Yes, I've been to see that Kossoff woman.
Oh.
I had to. I'm losing my mind, Ingrid. Something's trying to kill me. That woman knows about it. She knows how and when it'll happen. And the funny thing is, I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Rolf, where are you going?
Back to the shop. Back to that cursed rapier. In the shop, I tried to reason the thing out. I was toying with the rapier. There was a tiny green speck on the black hilt. Idly, I picked at it with my thumbnail, and a chip of lacquer snapped off. The hilt was supposed to be wood. But here was what looked like a large emerald. My heart pounding, I chipped and picked at the lacquer until bit by bit I uncovered the most dazzling and richly wrought collection of jewels I'd ever seen. Set in solid gold were pearls, rubies, emeralds, and a magnificent star sapphire. This was the bejeweled blade that Rasputin held in his hand in Stasia's painting. This was Rasputin's rapier. I returned to Stasia's house. Like the first night, the door was ajar. Like the first night, I walked in. I walked into the living room. I looked about. Nothing had changed. Nothing, that is, except that mine was the 6th painting, now hung beside the others. And the easel already had a fresh canvas. Stasia was already painting a new portrait. The face was indistinct, but the date was clear. 1 lunar month from tonight. I gave up and walked home with the rapier under my arm. It was drizzling and foggy along the waterfront, and I was sick inside. I kept hearing Stasia's voice locked in my brain.
Tonight is the last night you may own the rapier, Rolf. But there is a way out.
A way out? How? There's no way out as long as either of us lives.
There is a way out, Rolf. Kill her and come to me. Tonight is the night of the...
Yeah, this is a back room. It's got a table and a glass there. But the chair, I would think that this is a chair with the legs that sit in the back here, if you guys can see that. But I would figure there's got to be maybe in the further instructions where there's a seat part on there. If not, I'm putting one on myself. I don't like that, but there's got to be one. I don't know why it wouldn't have been added for this step, because it doesn't look right. You need a seat on there. That's kind of weird. But anyways, let's continue.
If I own the rapier, you will be safe. Kill her, Rolf. Kill her and come to me.
Somebody's following me. A woman. I could hear her high heels on the cobblestones. I'd just passed that little blind alley. You know, the one about a block away from my shop. I decided to trick her. I stopped short. I spun around and caught sight of a woman in black as she darted into the alley. It was Stasia. And there was no exit from that alley. I tiptoed to the entrance and leaped into its shadows. All I could see was a large empty carton against the far wall. She had to be behind that. I gripped the jeweled handle of the rapier until it burned my hand. Only one searing thought in my tired mind. Stasia must die. I took a deep breath and drew the needle-pointed steel back, aimed at where I judged her heart to be, and thrust.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Chris. It's the seat is either missing a cushion. You know how in Old West, like they're just going to throw back. So it's maybe missing a cushion, but if that's the case, I'm not going to like that. I don't like that. I'm going to get a red square tile and put it on there. Anyways, or black. Maybe black would look cool. I will change that, though.
I drew the blade out, and her body slumped forward. I lit a match to see her face. But it wasn't Stasia Karsov I had killed. It was Ingrid. My wife. Ingrid.
Stasia, it worked. My plan worked. Ralph reacted just as I planned it.
You mean he did it? Killed
A
her?
psychological masterpiece. He told me the whole story at my office 10 minutes ago. He killed her thinking it was you.
And now that she is gone, you are happy. You will love me and forget her then.
Oh, perfect, perfect. She picked that stupid fool instead of me. Now she's dead, and he'll die too.
Oh, Denton, I'm so glad. I would do anything for
Everything
you.
went like clockwork. This rapier I found in your attic, the legend I made up, the phony paintings of former owners, your flirtation,
Yes.
perfect, perfect. The perfect murder, I've done it.
Did my acting please you, Denton?
Oh, you were magnificent, but there's only one weakness to my plan, Stasia.
What is it?
When Ralph is picked up, there must be no way for anyone to find out that you and I know each other, Stasia.
I know, and no one will know, darling.
Ralph's fingerprints are still on this rapier. He'll be electrocuted for one murder. Might as well be for two.
Denton! No! I love you!
I'm
Denton.
sorry, Stasia!
I love you. Still. I will wait for you.
Very neat stroke, Denton.
Ralph!
I heard everything you said, Denton. But I didn't have to, I knew. No, don't move. The gun is faster than a rapier.
How did you know, Ralph? Something I said tonight?
No. No, something I saw. Stasia loved you. The painting I saw on her easel tonight, the one I told you she'd begun, was your portrait. The only way I knew was because, as an artist, she was conscious of the scar on your forehead. She painted that in first.
The scar you gave me as a kid. Oh, you've a lot more brains than I gave you credit for, but at least we'll burn together.
Sorry, Denton. I'll have to decline that honor.
Oh! Ralph, am I too late?
Ingrid, no, you're dead. Ralph, everything you told me at my house tonight was a lie.
No, Denton. Your plan almost worked. I told you the truth. Except for the part about murdering Ingrid.
You should have studied psychiatry, Ralph.
I did, Denton. I had a good teacher. You.
Are we going home soon, darling? You seem so far away, Rolf. Is anything wrong?
No. I've been thinking about Denton. Odd the way things turned out. He made up that story about the rapier and its belonging to Rasputin and its owners dying on the night of the full moon.
You don't believe it, do you?
No. But what he thought was a cheap blade turns out to be a priceless treasure. It matches the one Rasputin held in his hand in the painting.
That was coincidence, darling. Come on, now put your work away. Let's go home. It's late.
Mm-hmm.
Such a beautiful night, Rolf. Let's walk home.
All right. You know that painting Stasia started of Denton, the one that gave his plot away?
Yes?
It had a date on it. I wonder what ghostly hand guided her brush as she wrote that date.
Why?
The The date she wrote was today's. But there's a full moon. And tonight was the night Denton was electrocuted.
Well, wouldn't you say that's a story which gets down to fine points? Happy ending, too. Yes, you get a ghost-to-ghost hookup between Stasia and Denton. Ralph and Ingrid get an Exhibit A worth a few bucks and go back to the old grind.
Well, I'm glad Denton's plot didn't work.
Yes, Mary, but if it had, Ralph would have had a plot of his own, you know, in a cemetery. After all, that's one of the best-selling plots I know of.
Nonsense, Mr. Host. If you think that's the kind of thought we want to leave our Lipton listeners with, you're quite wrong. Here's a much better thought for folks to carry away with them. Tomorrow, when you visit the grocer's, get a package of Lipton tea. Buy it, try it, and see if you don't agree that Lipton's brisk flavor gives you extra enjoyment. Oh, yes, there's a great treat in store for you when you first taste Lipton's full-bodied, zestful goodness. Ask your grocer for a package of Lipton tea tomorrow.
And now, friends, in case you're wondering, we do have a moral for tonight's story. It's short and sharp. Knife can be beautiful if you keep your temper. And look out for people with an axe to grind. They may be trying to get ahead of you. Oh, by the way, this month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is The Pavilion by Hilda Lawrence. And next week, the makers of Lipton tea and Lipton soup bring you another grisly Inner Sanctum tale, directed by Hyman Brown, and titled The Confession. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment with Stasia and Denton. Yes, they've got the concession for hand-forged hinges where it's hotter than the hinges of... Until next Tuesday, then. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
Oh, Barry, come on. Yeah, Barry, you gotta watch what you say, bud. You can't go ahead and joke like that. One strike. I like you in chat, Barry. Anyways, let's see. It's 9 o'clock. I could keep going on with the stream. I think I need to start an hour earlier on these streams. That's for sure. You know, it's just not long enough. 2 hours. Just because I got to finish up the stream for the overnight tonight. So that's it. Finish that up. I might come back here, finish off this bag, and tomorrow night I will start on stream 2 and see how far we get. I think we'll get through this pretty quick. This is bag 3. We've got a total of 12 bags. So 3, 6. Well, it might take 4 nights, depending on how long I go. So yeah, there we go. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you comment underneath. Let me know what you think and how you like it. But it's coming together really good. I like all the details. I like the piano. I like even the back room here. Really, really cool. Haven't gotten to any lights yet, but I think the lights are going to be on a chandelier and on a couple posts out here. But try to be humorous. Yeah, I know. I listen. I understand, Barry. We're all different in our humor and stuff like that, but that's definitely something you stay away from with everything going on in the world. Like I said, the only things I really watch on the channel, anything I do, is no politics, no religion, and just respect towards everybody. You know what I mean? So that's it. But there you go. Anyways, and the cowboy hat on this wall, that's kind of cool too. With that said, we'll end it. Overnight stream, a mixed bag tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. It's not posted yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get ready and post it. Probably last minute it'll be posted, but you'll see it go live. Thank you, Harry, Chris, everybody, Connie, Edward, Bubba. You guys all know who you are. JLR, thank you. Adino, this is fun. Fluff, Chick Productions, Barry. I'll behave because I like this channel, mate. Yes, please do, because there's been plenty of people I really enjoyed on the channel, but they had 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, they were out. So, but thank you. Much love to each and every one of you. Please comment afterwards. Thumbs up too. With that said, I am stopping. Peace and love as always.